I was hoping I wouldn't have to make this video, but alas, here we are. Etsy is not banning AI. Etsy is not deleting your shop because you use ChatGPT or clip art from Shutterstock or Creative Fabrica or an image generator in Playground or Kittl or wherever. And if someone told you otherwise, they're lying or they're selling something. So let's set the record straight. Look, I've been on Etsy for over 12 years, all of which has been print on demand, long before it was trendy. I've seen every panic wave come and go. So when members of my community said they watched some recent videos saying that Etsy's new creativity standard rules were wiping out thousands of POD shops, I wasn't shocked, but I was annoyed again. Why? Because Etsy's new creativity standards impact POD sellers the least out of every type of seller mentioned. And most of what is said is either outdated or deliberately exaggerated or just flat out wrong. But fear sells, right? So if they can freak you out enough, they'll funnel you off of Etsy and into their standalone coaching program or whatever. So in this video, I'm breaking it all down. What Etsy actually said, what's changed, and what hasn't, and why you probably have nothing to worry about, and how to make smart moves without falling for fear tactics. Part 1, you must now create your own original designs. Okay, let's clear this one up once and for all, because this part of the fear videos making the rounds right now is just straight up wrong. Etsy has never allowed you to just buy a stock design, upload it as is, and then sell it on a t-shirt or a mug, even if you had the commercial license. That's not new. That's not a change. That's how it's always been. Etsy has always required that you, the seller, have a creative role in the design. That could mean original artwork, your own typography, your own layouts, your own custom elements, even guiding AI to give you something unique. This new rule being hyped in all those videos is not new at all. It's just rephrasing of Etsy's long-standing policies under their new creativity standards banner. So if you're actually designing your work, whether from scratch or with AI tools like Midjourney, Playground, or Kittl, or you're making clip art stuff your own, which is actually necessary to satisfy Creative Fabrica's licensing terms anyway, you're still in full compliance. You're good. You don't need to panic or pivot or shut your shop down. And on that note, don't buy a graphic on Creative Fabrica that is being sold by multiple people, because everyone except for maybe one of them stole it. Where I wouldn't buy stuff from is these guys over here, because I've seen my stolen graphics there, so I know that they're up to no good. So what Etsy is doing is cracking down on the people who downloaded a bundle from Creative Fabrica, uploaded it as is, and called it a day. That's not creative input. That's just lazy reselling. And quite friggin' frankly, that's who should be nervous, not you. The only thing that changed in the POD space is that while before you either needed to have a hand in the design, the only way around this was if you printed or engraved stuff yourself. That's the only way you could have gotten away without having, some kind of part of the creative process. Now they say this: items produced using computerized tools. Physical items that a seller produced in their personal shop or home using computerized tools such as a laser printer, 3D printer, CNC machine, or cry-cut machine. These items must be produced based on a seller's original design and are often personalized or customized to a buyer's specification. That's it. Now everybody needs to be touching the design. It always should have been that way. The second bit of the fear mongering is that you must now disclose AI in your description. Here's another one they're blowing way out of proportion, like it's some dark mark on your listing or something. First of all, this isn't new. Etsy announced the AI disclosure guideline months ago. I covered it back in February in this video. So anyone acting like it's some shocking update is either way behind or banking on your panic. Second, the requirement is literally this: if your design was created with some AI assistance, Etsy asks that you mention it in the description. That's it. Not in the title, not in the tags, not on the image anywhere, just a line in the description. And guess what? Nobody reads the description anyway, especially on mobile, which is where most buyers are shopping from nowadays anyway. This isn't going to tank your sales or scare your customers or ruin your shop. Honestly, I think this is a good thing. It prevents Etsy from being flooded with lazy, generic AI spam while still giving real creators like you the freedom to use powerful tools the right way. You're not being punished for using AI. You're being asked to own your process. And that's what real creators already do. Separately, stop worrying about an Etsy boycott. They literally happen every 3 years and nothing ever really comes of it because they're always so short-sighted. To those of you calling for an Etsy boycott, stop it. Report the listings that are the reason for your boycott, I'm not giving them the dignity of saying the phrase because I don't want to give them more ammo. Those listings toe the line of violence and are definitely discriminatory, which goes against Etsy's terms of service. They're also, in my opinion, just plain morally wrong, and Etsy is actively removing them. The problem with your boycott, though, is that it targets all small business sellers on the platforms, even the ones with compassion and dignity. It also targets those ones whose sole income relies on their Etsy sales to put food in the fridge and clothe their kids. The ones who want to be on the right side of history and who are unequivocally on the other side of the ones you're protesting. So just stop. Please get yourself sorted. Etsy doesn't review every listing before it gets uploaded, but they do remove listings that get reported for violating their terms. So focus your energy there. Anyway, now on to part 3. Who's actually making these fear videos? This might sting a little, but it needs to be said. Most of the people making these scary Etsy's over videos, they're not even real Etsy sellers. Or if they are, they haven't been around long enough to understand Etsy's policies, basically beyond, surface level. What they are good at, though, is creating drama, stirring fear and driving clicks. Because the more panicked you are, the easier it is to convince you that Etsy is the enemy and that their standalone coaching program or community or whatever or shiny new platform is the solution. It's classic fear marketing. Manufacture a crisis, then sell the cure. It happens in politics. We've seen it. Now, yes, I'll promote something, but I'm not going to scare you into joining my membership. I'll let the members' posts speak for themselves. And if you look closely, most of these videos follow the same formula. Step 1, Etsy is cracking down. Step 2, your shop is at risk. Step 3, you need to get off Etsy now and do what I'm doing instead. And step 4, Etsy fees are expensive. No, they're not. That's a whole other can of crap I'll open in another video. To be clear, I'm not knocking having a standalone shop at all. That's a great tool if you know how to drive traffic. And I'll be using Everbee Store to create my own in literal minutes by importing all my stuff from Etsy into the new shop I'm creating from scratch. And I'll be sharing all the details with you all and showing the shop and everything anyway. But let's be clear, this whole panic type stuff is more about conversions for them than consequences for you. Part 4, should you have a backup plan? Yes, absolutely. You should always have a backup plan. Here's the part they never tell you though. Having a backup doesn't mean you need to abandon Etsy. It doesn't mean Etsy's dead, or it doesn't mean you're suddenly unsafe. It just means you're thinking like a real business owner by diversifying, preparing, and adapting without freaking out. Everbee Store, Wix, Shopify, your own site, building an email list, learning ads, these are all smart moves. But smart doesn't mean reactive. Smart is being intentional. You don't need to jump ship just because a YouTube coach told you to. You need to look at your own numbers, your own goals, and make moves that make sense for you. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Etsy is still one of the best low barrier platforms for creators, especially for POD and especially if you're new. They bring the traffic and all you have to do is bring a good product. So yeah, have a backup. Be smart. Just don't let fear drive your business strategy. If this helped calm the chaos even a little bit, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe, and share it with another Etsy seller who's kind of sucked into the drama right now. Let's stop the fear cycle again and start building with strategy. I do have more no BS breakdowns coming soon, including that deep dive into Etsy fees, so stick around for that one. And for our new Etsy shop updates, because we've just locked out 3 new designs that I'm stoked about, so we're building out the banner now, but I was getting excited and got a little ahead of myself with actual design. So you're going to want to see that coming up next week. But you're not powerless, and you're not behind. And Etsy's a damn good place to grow if you know how to see through all the noise. So stick with it, take a deep breath, and we'll see you in the next one.